Okay, Rahul, firstly, let me tell you that we spent that late night with you, and thereafter I saw four anchors yesterday back to back. My back was literally broken, but I think spirit was not. And right now I'm in a colder environment watching all this which is happening somewhere in Himachal. Why is it this in the entire conundrum of discussion? I, being a military man, while I have retired, so jingoism will come to very easily to me. Why am I the only guy trying to say that don't rush, right? So while we are talking that we have got power, might, we are controlling escalatory. Again, please understand who's controlling the escalatory ladder. This is how you perceive. I think we are controlling the escalatory ladder. I'm not on the behalf of the government. I've not spoken to anybody. What I can make the sense of the entire thing that there are five basic tools of your state tools element of power which are now being utilized. Military is being utilized in a graduated manner. Today we are not in the time of an operakram mindset that we need to, you remember the Cold Start doctrine. We deployed forward for a very quick walk-in environment. But the circumstances today have changed, right? We need to, I feel, like, I want to just break down very simply that if economic might is in our power, let's not rush into it headlong. Let it be calibrated, drawn one is in our interest, not in the interest of Pakistan. They will want a quick closure, right? Let's have a fight. Let's have a number of casualties. Let's kill enough number of people this side, that side. And let's thereafter drop our arms and say, now we are tired. Where is everybody? Let's come back. So while we may be still economically powerful, there is a whole back end thing which has to now gear up and ginger up and go up to support for a longer time. We may have a staying power for 20, 25 years, maybe a year worth. Pakistan may have just about 4. But
so hang on.
Not,
General Saab, look, this afternoon I do a show called Take 3 with 2 other of my colleagues, and I was having this debate, and ironically, I was the one who was saying we shouldn't rush in, that we should take a step back. Yes, we need to take decisive action, which will lead to a certain degree of the reimposition of deterrence, but we can wait it out. My colleague was arguing that no, we should do a short, sharp, quick one because we're the bigger economy, we have much more to lose. What does Pakistan have to lose? So that's why I'm asking you.
Hold. Let me just quickly go back to Israel, Hamas, and Ukraine, Russia. Ukraine backed up with NATO, the power and everything, money. Whose economy is rising? The Russians, right? Look at Israel and Hamas. Whose economy is rising? Let's not jump into this thing in which this guy will still come out up in a stronger.
Okay.
We have got him strangulated. Look at the naval power now which is getting deployed. When you start choking him on that side, when you're choking him from the Western Front, when the routes from the Chinese are not going to be limited, right now, who is going to invest in this radical rabbit guy? Let's draw him out. And trust me, Rahul, 2 years heading a very, very important assignment. I have worked strategic wargaming not once. I have done variety of tools. Before that, I have held appointments where lives have been lost on my orders and lives have been saved on my orders. I understand what I'm trying to say. We have got the capacity. I've worked on, not on my back of the envelope. I can sit across the table to your team or anybody who wants to argue to tell you, let this draw out. You will see what I'm saying.
Okay.
So and the second part, we should look rational. We should have adequate, just at Balam for going for a full-fledged war. Everybody is calling a war. I don't call it a war. I have been in the scenario of ceasefire violation, taking shells on my head. I've seen people blown on this side and killing on the other side for not one day. I've seen it for fire packages, fire exchanges, fire duels going for days altogether. I've seen Kargil quite up close front. Please understand, wars don't go in zippy.
Okay.
Right? The people who want to go into zippy will be the losers. You may be a very, very powerful nation.
Okay,
you look at the Americans.
Okay, so
I'll just close on this. Let's look at the Americans, the most powerful country. how do they go into war? They go with preparation, right? When they have to go into attack, they spend time more than 3 to 4 years, 3 to 4 months, 6 months. I'm not saying we have to go for 3 to 4, 6 months. What I'm saying is let's play it out. Let's control the thing. You jump, you take a decision, you will not be able to come out of
So you're already saying that the pincers that we've applied are beginning to hurt Pakistan. Okay, let's just, 1 second, before I bring in the Air Marshal, I'll quickly go back to the gentleman who was saying let's get more decisive and let's get decisive quicker. So Tilak Devashir, your first response to what General Pandey is saying, then I'll get in Brahma Chileni, and then of course I'll get in the wing commander. Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to just say this, that for the last 3 days, the people in Jammu, in Samba, Kathua, Jaisalmer are being traumatized because of blackouts, because of massive drone attack from Pakistan.
Ji.
Don't we owe them a responsibility? Are we allowing them to suffer the consequences of what Pakistan is doing by your 4 drones or 5 drones or something? Why cannot you be decisive enough to ensure that this kind of trauma that the people in these cities, after all, they're also Indians, are facing? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying go for a full-out war. We have not crossed the LC. They're not boots on the ground. It is just all air assets. And the Air Force hasn't even crossed over. It's just drones crossing over. Surely we can do much more with drone warfare just to put the fear of God into Pakistan.
Well, I'll get the
Absolutely,
Air
sir.
Marshal on that in just a few seconds. One
Yeah.
second, let's just first go, because I have to bring the Air Marshal in, and this is an important conversation. Brahma Chileni, your response to General Pandey and to Tilak Devashir's response to him.
India currently is waging low-intensity military campaign. Low-intensity military campaign comes with costs for India. Look at the international media coverage. India is again being paired with Pakistan. This will have an impact on investor confidence. Investors will balk at investing in India. The economic costs that India will have to pay the longer this crisis drags on. Of course, India should take its own time to inflict punitive costs on Pakistan. But India is bearing costs. Even what Pakistan is doing today, as today's briefing pointed out, it admitted that India has suffered losses and damage. So we should not forget that this is some kind of game, which India is not bearing any costs. Second, this obsession that we have in India about taking out terrorist camps, about hitting the terrorist infrastructure. Let's be clear. For the Pak military generals, their terrorist proxies are expendable.
Yeah.
They essentially serve as cannon fodder for the military generals. Pakistan is the world's biggest terrorism factory. You kill 100, you kill 500, they'll turn out more jihadi terrorists. And yet we feel content that we kill about 100 terrorist proxies in the first wave of attacks. The real outcome will be determined by our ability to inflict punitive costs on the puppeteers, not their puppets.
Okay, so that's an important one, viewers, because if you don't go to the source of it, yes, you might impose costs on the puppets, but the puppeteers, their mindset remains. And the whole idea, wing commander, is to get the puppeteer to put away his puppets, because he realizes that the game, the entertainment is not good enough anymore. It's going to cost. It's not being watched, and it's going to be earning that person rebuke. I think you're on mute, sir. Yeah, you're on mute. Yes, I can.
Yeah. Rahul, I see this playing out in a very, very different way. In fact, I get goosebumps when I see this. And this is something qualitatively very different. And I would like to state this. This is India's modern day Krishna doctrine.